There are a lot of young entrepreneurs who are going for it and who are creating those communities. It is not a top-down model, it's a bottom-up model. That's why it cannot be controlled. And I foresee that this model is going to be very important for the big corporations in future, because the mentality of the walled gardens is going to fall completely. So this might change the way we are doing corporate politics and industrial politics, also from the telcos in the future. I am, of course, thinking in that sense that the accessibility has to be very important, and the interactivity is of utmost importance. But I want just to put one warning here, because that is a problem we will have to solve sooner or later. What about the individual rights? What about the danger of having a long tail of infamy, as was said in another environment yesterday here? And what about privacy? All those are implications which, because it is still very new, we are not yet aware of the problems it could bring about. I hope that these problems can be solved by the community itself, and that it will not build up into major problems so that politicians will have to jump in, because that will not be good. So my demand really to all those young generations building up these new systems, get it right so that the privacy problem can be solved.
All right. We'll be happy to take some questions in a moment. So if there are folks who have questions, there will be mics being passed. So in a moment, I'll be turning to the audience for questions. Just one more issue here. So, is this just simply, as Bill argued, a natural continuity? Or is there something else? Is there going to be a Web 3.0? Are we just building yet for another stage? Or is this a continuous stream? Bill?
Well, I think if we call, if the next buzzword we pick is Web 3.0, that shows a lack of creativity in buzzwords. I think we need a whole different word. Now, it'll come at an artificial point in time with an artificial definition, but certainly as you get 3D as part of the experience, as you get speech as part of the experience, as you overthrow textbooks have to be on paper, periodicals have to be on paper, TV is a broadcast medium. As you radically change those things and you make this matching of buyers and sellers more and more efficient, then we've got to have some demarcation where we go, wow, because even though it's year by year, the sum of the effect, as broadband gets cheaper, young people are more comfortable with this thing, just every device, phones, games, PCs, all connected to it, it's such a small percentage of what it will be. So I'd say we have room in the next 10 years for at least 4 more buzzwords.
Dennis?
Just a quick note on what Web 2.0 will do to revolutionize advertising. I talked to a consultant in the U.S. In the U.S., they spend $1 trillion every year marketing and advertising. But much of that money is wasted because I'm not shopping for a car. I'm sitting in my living room and an ad for a car comes on. Now, imagine instead at AT&T, which is wiring up to offer all kinds of screens, they know from my internet access that I've been searching Google on my laptop for the Volvo S80. They know from what I'm watching on television that I'll actually watch a Volvo S80 ad. When they ship an ad to my cell phone, the most intimate contact you have with a device, and it's for the Volvo S80, instead of feeling intruded upon, I'm going to be very happy to see it. So what I'm wondering from Chad Hurley, I think a lot of the ads I see on YouTube are still kind of TV ads thrown up online. It seems like ads have to change. Are you seeing much change yet, and how do you think ads will have to change?
Well, yes, they'll definitely have to be more targeted. So, we were just acquired a few months ago, so we're working on that problem right now. But, in the coming months, we're going to have more kind of experiments to see how people interact with these ads, just to build an effective model that works for advertisers, works for the users, and really complements each other. I mean, that's what we're working towards, and I think it's going to be possible.
They're going to have to be like 5 seconds long. I think people don't want to watch a 30-second ad on a laptop, which you would watch on a television?
Yeah, it's not going to be 30-second pre-rolls before every video. That's for sure. Yeah.
All right. Now we'll turn to the audience. So who's got a mic out here? We'll take one right down front.
Hi, I'm Jeff Jarvis, blogger at buzzmachine.com. Yesterday, I thanked Chad for changing the world because I think giving everyone a voice is important. So considering where we are, and Mr. Gates, you certainly changed the world already and are doing so in a next generation in Gates 2.0 now. I'd like to have you stretch out in a bit of absurd, hubristic thinking for just a second and say, we know how the tools are changing. We know we all have a voice. What are the fundamental changes in society, going back to the name of the platform of the panel here? What are the fundamental changes in society you see happening as a result of this? What are the things that are totally new that this enables? Mr. Gates, Hurley, Redding, whoever.
Well, these are tools of empowerment. So in a sense, we're not changing society. Of course, yes, you create large phenomena around these things, but we're letting people who want to communicate at a distance, want to find people who have common interests, want to sell their old junk in their house or see goofy things, we're letting them express those interests. Now, whether or not that can let society do really new things, can it revolutionize education as you get digital curriculum that is more engaging for students, more based on their level and according to the things they already understand? Can you get people who see a poor person 3,000 miles away and they're willing to give them a loan because they see their story and they know that they can connect up and see the good results because of that? Do we take sort of national boundaries and distance and lower them? Do we take complex topics that the people have a hard time understanding now and use the internet to let something like the craziness of the budget or aid or the tax code put people off where they don't really feel like they can know what's going on? There's incredible promise in the two areas I think would be the top of my list are in education and healthcare, to use these breakthroughs to revolutionize those two fields. That is mostly still in front of us today.
Well, look, we just had a really interesting example, and I'd like to ask Commissioner Redding. We had a rather dramatic, in a sense, Web 2.0 moment a few weeks ago with the hanging of Saddam Hussein. Okay? Here was news that was attempted to be controlled, and somebody in there with a camera managed to get the pictures and upload the pictures, and suddenly the world was seeing what the United States and everybody else didn't want them to see. Are you worried as a politician about what we're going to find out?
I am fascinated as a politician and worried in the same time. I'm fascinated because this is a tool of transparency, and this will enable democracies, even in countries where there are no democracies, to make a very big step forward.
So this was a step forward.
Well, if you take now this specific element, it is also very terrible for the individual who is brought in a terrible moment of the end of his life to the general public. In the same time, it is showing how a system shouldn't work. So it is both, you see. But I believe that here we really got a tool for democracy and a danger for non-democratic states. A very big danger, so I think, yes, it is a step forward. But on the other hand, and I repeat again, I am worried also about the rights of the individual. So the individual, not about the societies, but the individual has also in this new Web 2 be protected. And I do not see how the individual can be protected. So that will be the difficult part of it.
Well, we have the wonderful example of Witness, Peter Gabriel's organization, that invites human rights activists all over the world to upload pictures and images and photographs of human rights violations in the world. This is the Web 2.0 of human rights. So it seems to me that I think I agree with you, but it is in fact protecting rights.
But if I may ask the Commissioner, what is it that we are protecting the people from?